Hey everybody! So I wanted to do a kind of short video on an experience I've had in my life. It has been the toughest thing I've had to go through, honestly, and that was losing my best friend. So many people take for granted what they have in their life and having that special someone that you've known for so long. We became best friends. It was in first grade. I believe I was 6, 7 years old. And neither of us really had friends, and we kind of latched onto each other. It was just like, there's something special about you. We were best friends for so many years. We were so close. We hung out all the time, and her mom treated me like one of her own, which was wonderful because I didn't have a mother. And so, over the years, we stayed really close, and then my family decided to move across the country, which was awful. And now I was going into 8th grade, and so it was kind of a rough time, anyways. But I was young enough to where I didn't have a MySpace quite yet, nor did she, and it wasn't late enough in advancement in society for us to have cell phones. I didn't get one until I think it was end of 8th grade. And so when we reconnected, it was wonderful. I learned about all the hardships she had gone through, and she's a beautiful person inside and out. We never once argued. The only thing we disagreed about was the Kardashians. She liked them, and I never saw why. But that was fine. Didn't matter. You know, minor stuff. Pick your battles. And she meant more to me. She still does, than anybody, and I think that anybody ever will. Even the man I want to marry, who's in my life, but she's a piece of me. And the thing that happened when we finally reconnected is that she told me that she had been diagnosed with kidney disease. She was going through dialysis, some really hard times. She was on the transplant list. She had gotten one and it failed. And so she was not getting any better. She started going to the hospital a lot more. Her lungs started collapsing. And then in January, a year after I visited her for what would be the last time and the first time since I had moved, and I regret not going to see her more. But I was young, I didn't have money, you can't help it. Can't be hard on myself for it. But in January, I became a general manager of a problematic store, and things were going so bad there until I could straighten it up because I hadn't even been there a month, just a couple weeks. And I received a phone call saying that she had gone into a coma, that they put her in one, and her lungs had collapsed and her kidney was failing, and that she was essentially brain dead. I called, and her boyfriend let me speak with her on the phone for an hour. She always pulled out of it, but that time she didn't. And eventually they made the decision to stop the dialysis. And so, essentially what I want to say, the reason that I'm making this video is because I believe that people should be organ donors. I signed up for one, to be one, as soon as I found out what she was going through. And I realized how much they can impact someone. If I can make a difference after I die, take my organs. I don't care. After I die, I don't want somebody harvesting them while I'm alive, but I'm just trying to say, care for who you have now. Be thankful. Because losing her was easily the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and I've gone through some shit in my life. And it's hard without her, but I believe that if more people were knowledgeable on how that could affect somebody's life, it could make a difference. It could make a difference for somebody else who may be not doing so well, and there's some kind of change, and that person gets lucky enough to keep living because someone was generous enough to sign up to be an organ donor. And maybe this is stupid, and maybe I'm just talking to myself and nobody's gonna see this, but I just want people to be aware of how much that really impacts somebody's life. And I hope that somebody somewhere out there takes something from this, because I would love nothing more to have her back, and I would never wish that kind of pain on anybody. But either way, depressing pieces up. So be thankful. Find 3 things every day to be thankful for, even if it's just little things. So I will see you guys again sometime eventually. I will try to be more proactive if people are actually interested in hearing me. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.